I'm Jacinta Coonahan and you're watching Central Coast News 5 at 5. Residents from 18 Wamberal homes remain locked out of their properties as the state government and Central Coast Council install emergency measures to help prevent even more erosion after Coastline took a battering last week. Just today, Council commenced placing rock bags by crane at the base of the waterfront dunes to help stabilise the area. On Wednesday, Parliamentary Secretary for the Central Coast, Adam Crouch, announced that former Coordinator General for the Central Coast, Lee Shearer, had been appointed as the local recovery coordinator.
With one phone call, the Premier moved decisively to appoint Lee Shearer, former Assistant Commissioner Lee Shearer, as the local recovery coordinator.
What we're doing is reaching out as best as possible to the key stakeholders and working at pace to get people together and around the table, which is always the best place for problem solving in the very near future.
At an extraordinary meeting of the Central Coast Council on Monday night, the council called for the situation to be declared a natural disaster and has since committed its full support to the emergency works. CEO Gary Murphy spoke with the media on Wednesday.
Well, the working group is really to provide that community input. As we have seen through this process, and even as recently as last night talking to the residents at North Entrance, a number of them have lived there for many years and understand the dynamics of the beach. Each beach is quite unique and different. So it's really important that we get that local input as well as the independent expert engineering input to make sure that we get the best solution.
An extension of the JobKeeper program announced this week by Federal Treasurer Josh Frydenberg has been generally welcomed by businesses on the Central Coast, many of whom said it could prove the differences between going under and staying afloat. The payment is set to continue at its current level until September 27 and then will be extended for another 6 months, but at a reduced rate. From September 28 until January 3rd, 2021, the payment will drop to $1,200 per fortnight and $750 per fortnight for employees who worked less than 20 hours a week during February this year. And then from January 4th to March 28, 2021, the two payments will then become $1,000 and $650.
What the future looks like, we're not really sure. Gosford CBD isn't quite what it used to be, and it doesn't look like it's going to return to that probably at least until next year, possibly longer. So the extension of JobKeeper is a really great thing. The reduced amounts are a concern, but I guess the challenge for us is to build our business to the point that we can supplement those reductions over time. I guess the scary thing is we're confident in our ability to build our business as long as we can see the pandemic coming under control in that same period.
The government also announced that the coronavirus supplement for those on job seeker income support will be extended until December 31st, dropping back to $250 per fortnight from September the 25th. Mr. Frydenberg said these and other stimulus measures would give rise to a record budget deficit of $86 billion this year.
Here in Australia, the Morrison government has deployed $289 billion in fiscal and balance sheet support, the equivalent of 14.6% of GDP.
Well, there's plenty of new construction underway in the north, with work commencing last week on the new Wamberal Town Centre. And this week, the first soil turned on the new ING office in Wyong. Let's go to David to see how it's going.
Thanks, JC. Yes, ING, the bank, has signalled its continued investment in the Central Coast region and its people. The new building is due to open in 2022 and will provide a state-of-the-art environment for ING's 400 plus Central Coast employees. The 4,800 square metre site has been designed with ING's agile work practices in mind, with an open plan and innovative meeting spaces throughout. ING's Australian CEO, Uday Sarin, was up at the worksite earlier this week.
Today we begin the construction of our new home at Wyong. We've been here on the coast now for over 18 years. I keep saying this is the best contact center that we have on the planet, and we want to expand that. Clearly, we'd outgrown our earlier premises. Nearby transport links, the Wyong stations here. I'm just hearing myself, I think it's a good idea to work here 1 day a week at least.
And concerns are mounting over funding for many of the coast's well-known community-run organisations. The Bateau Bay-based group Central Coast Kids in Need said that the shutdown has left a $100,000 hole in their budget and that it was a matter of time only before the charity burnt through its reserves. Separately, mental health service provider Arafmi is ramping up its campaign to secure vital funding for its youth and family carer support programs after a long-standing arrangement with Central Coast Local Health District was axed in July. I spoke to Arafmi's CEO Rhonda Wilson yesterday.
What's being diluted is the role of the family, is the role of the children, is the impact on them. That's what's being diluted. And it seems to be being melded into one homogenous funding group, which takes away and doesn't recognise that the needs of these people, unique needs, what it's like to live as a child in a family where there's mental health chaos, what it's like to be a mother that has to wonder every moment where their child is.
Finally, Jacinta, our own roving reporter Eric Barrett took himself up to Newcastle this week to experience the new fully autonomous electric Navia shuttle being trialled in the next 3 months between Watt Street and Nobbies. The trial is part of a suite of mobility, energy and data innovations of the Newcastle Smart City strategy. And Eric's first question was, naturally, why can't the Central Coast have one of these too? And Jacinta, Eric has written a story in this week's Coast Community News articulating the great opportunity that driverless cars present for people with a disability to live and work more independently. Back to you.
Thanks, David. A big weekend ahead in sport. Let's go to Hayley.
Thanks, JC. Talk surfaced this week that Central Coast Stadium may be cursed, with both the locally based NZ Warriors and the Mariners going down in quick succession. The Warriors lost 46-10 to the Cronulla Sharks and have now slipped to 13th on the NRL ladder, while the Mariners managed once again to find a way to lose, going down 1-0 to Perth Glory. The Mariners will have a chance to lift the curse later tonight when they take on the Newcastle Jets here in Gosford in the 50th F3 Derby. So far, the Jets have won 17 and the Mariners just 15, so here's to hoping the yellow and blue can pull one back. In other news, sadly, the Central Coast Rugby League has finally announced that the 2020 season will be cancelled. Central Coast Rugby League President Gerard Andrews said new spectator restrictions were the straw that broke the camel's back, given the importance of game day revenue. There will be a full suite of local rugby union matches this weekend, JC, of course, with weather permitting.
Thanks, Hayley. Let's go to Lucy and see exactly what the weather may be permitting this weekend.
JC, there's more wet weather on the way. Tomorrow will be cloudy with patchy fog in the morning and a near to 100% chance of rain from the late morning and a maximum temperature of 18 degrees. The rain is expected to continue through into Sunday and Monday, with winds turning southeasterly at 15 to 20 kilometres an hour and a maximum temperature of 17 degrees. And no doubt, everyone in Wamberal and North Entrance Beach will be holding their breath during the high tides over the weekend. And they are scheduled tomorrow for around noon and midnight. Back to you, Jacinta.
Thanks, Lucy. We leave you with this extraordinary footage we found via local bush tracker Jake Kassar of what happens to be the mythical black panther of the bush. And we wonder if this footage found a little closer to home at Holgate could be the panther's prodigy. See you next week.